Hello and welcome to FPSKivotos. I'm your host Bridge, and let's get started. On this week's episode, we're going to talk about everyone's favorite big boss. Not that one, I mean a different one. This one's actually a VTuber, and she goes by Lyne. Lyne's Generation 3 Oracle's favorite robot girl. And to kick things off for this Vtuber Customs episode, there is a few things I want to mention. This one's gonna be a little bit different than some of the other ones. Echo is graduating on March 25th, which is one day before my birthday, so that's stings a little. But regardless of that, I've been working on this one for quite a while, trying to get the gun and everything like that. I actually asked her during her birthday last year about what she would want and stuff like that, and I've just been not really procrastinating, but I just wasn't really sure what to do for her. And I finally did find something, and unfortunately that was a little bit before her announcement came out. I'm kicking myself that I kind of took this long to figure out what I want to do for her, but I unfortunately will not have any fan art or fan merch or anything of that nature, or even decals on the gun. I just have what the gun is as well as its paint job, and so we're gonna talk about everything with that still, but don't expect the usual giftable fan merch that I usually have during these episodes, as well as the art. I just didn't have enough time to gather all that stuff. Echo, if you are watching this, thank you for being a great content creator. And thank you for always putting a smile on the Rams' face, as well as mine, obviously. And thank you for allowing me the opportunity to do this for you, as well as the rest of the Rams. And with that, let's talk about the gun. This is an AR9. So it's an AR style pistol. I'll explain more about what that entails. That's chambered in 9mm. This one in particular takes Glock mags. Most of them do, well, not most of them. A good chunk of these types of AR9s take Glock mags. It's mostly because they're really easy to get and really easy to come by. And I mean, a lot of people own Glocks. I own multiple, so it's not really, it's a market that is really easy to get into to get a AR9. This one doesn't actually have any particular brand. This is actually, so the upper, which is this portion, this entire upper portion is something I actually bought at a gun show like 8 months ago or something like that, and I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago is when I finally got this lower. So it's just kind of a hodgepodge of parts essentially to make make this what it is. But we're gonna go over all the details that I have on it, and why it's categorized as a pistol and not categorized as a rifle. But as always, let's talk about the color. Now we have a nice, really bright candy red with white accents and black detailing as well, obviously designed after Echo, which I'll pull up what she looks like right here if you don't know who she is. Echo already has a revolver, and so I kind of wanted to have something to give her a little bit more firepower. Now granted, her revolver probably shoots a larger caliber, but she doesn't have a lot of ammo, and this will give you a lot of ammo to deal with anything that you have in front of you. And that's why it's called Boss's Equalizer. But honestly, this is one of my favorite paint jobs, like color-wise. The red just really pops and gives a lot of detail to all the black features that I kept. The entire lower was black, and so as you can see, I did kind of use some tape to keep at least this grip section the black color, and I just think it turned out really nice, just to have a nice amount of contrast between the 3 different colors that this gun has. But in the words of Grand Thumb, we're going to start from tip to butt. So at the very tip here, we have a little compensator, or I think it's like some sort of flash hider. I don't remember exactly what this is, but it's just a little screw-on muzzle attachment that allows for a little bit less recoil and a little bit less muzzle flash, as you probably see in the firing footage. Right here, this is a hand stop. So the way I hold guns, for the most part, at least rifles, pistols, sorry, I like to hold it like this, kind of like it's kind of C-clamp-ish, but all my fingers are on the grip here to kind of hold it in a nice, stable way, just to make shots a little bit easier. Even though it is 9mm, it doesn't really kick that much. It's straight blowback, so when you're shooting it, it's just going straight back into your shoulder, so it's not really that high of recoil, especially for 9mm. Right here, we just have an M16 style front sight. I might change that out in the future. I'm not entirely sure. Moving back, we have the M16 style carry handle with a optics mount. Now this was mostly because I kind of wanted to have fun, to have a different look for it, because most people use a standard rail riser, which is just a piece of metal that has a rail on it that just rises the optic up, kind of like this one. But this one has the carry handle, so you can hold it like this if you really wanted to, and just to have that like classic, you know, M16 vibe, even though it's a 9mm, not a 5.56. It's not the most stable thing in the world. This, I've Loctited this and it still has gotten loose, so I might in the future just use some sort of rail riser. But for the most part, I'm actually really happy with how it turned out, and it makes it really easy to look down the red dot when you are bracing it against yourself. The nice thing about the riser is that you can actually still use the iron sights right here. It's a little bit hard to look through, but at least from this angle, but you can actually still use the iron sights. So if your red dot does go out, you can just use the iron sights still. So it's pretty neat. This red dot is just some cheap red dot sight. I mean, it's 9mm. It doesn't really need like a super heavy duty optic to work well. And moving back a little bit more, we have the charging handle. This is an ambidextrous charging handle. I actually do forget what brand it is, but it's not my usual one, which is like a Geisley or any other ambidextrous one. This is just some cheaper one because, like I said, it's 9mm. It doesn't really kick that much at the end of the day. It doesn't really need super like expensive gear to be able to operate. And moving down, we have the lower. As I mentioned, this lower is a completely different brand from the upper. This is a, if you can see right here, FM, which is Foxtrot Mike product. It is a fully polymer lower. Obviously, if you know what polymer is, it's plastic. It's a full plastic lower. Most of the time, lowers are made out of metal, and then obviously there are the plastic ones, just like this one, and the entire thing is full polymer. And honestly, it's really nice. Like, even if it's made out of plastic, it's pretty sturdy plastic. And the nice thing about this one in particular is that it is fully, and I mean fully, ambidextrous. And as a left-handed person, having full ambi is really nice because we have the mag release here on the left side, as well as on the right side. We have a bolt catch here on either side, as well as a fire selector here on both sides of the gun. And it's so nice. It's so nice to have things that are ambi as a left-handed person, because man, things are just not catered to us, really, you know? They're just not catered to us. So it's always nice to have things like that where it's actually easy for me to drop the mag release rather than always using my right hand to hit that. It's just really nice. One of the coolest features about this lower is the mag storage right here. This mag and grip design isn't how the gun operates usually. It actually operates from this magazine right here, which is obviously empty, so don't worry about that too much. But it makes it really nice to have this extra storage for a magazine to be able to just have another one at the ready. And it's just really, really nice for quick reloads and just storage in general. Like, you know, having another mag on the gun ready to go is really nice. And with that, you can do some really fast reloads to be able to get back into the action. And you can just use it there for storage, or you can just throw the mag out. It's really up to you. It doesn't really matter. And it's just really, really nice to have that feature there to be able to get going. And honestly, it just looks nice. I think the aesthetic of it is really nice at the end of the day. As for one of the last things I'll mention, we have this right here, the buffer tube, as well as the dreaded brace. So if any of you know how American gun laws are, this is not a rifle. I repeat that again. This is not a rifle. This is categorized as a pistol. So the way it works here in the US, there is a 3-letter agency named the ATF. They do a whole bunch of gun laws, and there's a lot of mixed emotions about how they do their job. And one of the things that they have is that if you have a rifle that is shorter than 16 inches, you have to do one of two things. You need to either pay them $200 to make it a SBR, which stands for short barreled rifle. So it's registered under the ATF with your name, fingerprints, all that stuff like that. So they know that you've made a short barrel rifle. Or you can use a brace. Now what the brace does, it makes it a pistol. So essentially what happens is that you use this little strap here, you unwrap it, And this part of it actually opens up. You put your arm through here, and then you hold the gun with one hand. This is a pistol brace, and this is now categorized as a pistol. So it's the exact same, don't mind that it's taken apart, it's the exact same thing as this when it comes to characterization. These are both pistols. Now, if I were to put a stock on this pistol, that's a felony, and I don't really want to commit felonies for obvious reasons, unless I paid the $200 to make it an SBR. It's kind of ridiculous, but I don't really want to get into that too much. I just wanted to, tell you that this is a pistol. But with all those details out of the way, let's move on to the conclusion. If you guys have been enjoying this episode so far, please make sure to take over the world and hit the like, comment, and subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to know when I upload every single time. And this is the end. I'm pretty sure that this is a shorter episode since I didn't have the art or the giveaway or anything like that, but who knows? I'm not entirely sure until I start editing it. Echo, if you are watching this, thank you for being an amazing content creator. I'm not gonna get too sappy about this. There's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of things, and I'm just happy that I was given the opportunity to watch you grow as a content creator and make me as well as all the Rams laugh each and every single day that you streamed. It really, really hurts to say goodbye, but all good things do eventually come to an end. I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to meet you. And thank you very much for the opportunity for allowing me to do this type of custom gun video for you. Just know that me and all the Rams love and appreciate you so much. You've done so much for us. You've made us laugh, you made us cry, you've made us blush, you've done everything. And don't beat yourself up too much about not doing enough for us, because you've done as much as you possibly can. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for not graduating on my birthday. And I hope, and I really, really do hope, that we all get to see you again someday in the future. But with all that out of the way, I've been your host, Bridge, and I'll see you guys in the next one.